weird, yoga, because I feel like once you start it again, your body hurts more. It's almost like these are the pains, you should be paying attention to, but you're not. It's almost like you're fine, and then you do a stretch, and you're like, Christ, now I have to stretch more to make it less painful. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Like all exercise, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you don't do it, and then you do it, it hurts.
Yeah. Exactly. So just don't do it.
So just don't do it, and just keep eating Jaffa cakes by the box.
Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
He was fine. At one point he said, maybe you should play with hot rods, and I was like, maybe you should fuck off.
George?
Ben.
Knock,
Hello.
knock.
What? Knock.
Knock.
Okay, who's there?
The Drum and Drummer podcast. Okay?
Great. Did you just think that then?
Yep.
Yeah, it's tricky trying to find good ways to start the pod, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But great.
And
great.
And the other 29 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well.
Exactly.
Let's dive straight in. You've been busy. Talk to me.
I've been
busy.
Talk
to me.
What do you want first? Do you want my...
So tips. Talk to me.
I never liked Phone Jacker.
No.
There's a thing for you. I might have been too young for it, maybe. I feel like I was about 9 when it came out.
I think some are very funny and some aren't.
There you go.
There's my review of Phone Jacker.
Well, hit and miss is the term for that, isn't
it? Well,
hit and miss.
Yeah.
Could
that be another... Right, the other week we spoke about what would the other name...
Yeah, go on.
What could another name for this podcast be? Hit and miss.
Hit and miss, yeah. What, is one of us hit and one of us miss?
Yeah. We won't say which way round.
Because that is what people say to us. They go, well, who's drum and who's drummer? And you go, what? That was
well, I think it would be called hit and miss
interactions.
Post your death. That's what we sort of said. So
you seem to be set on this idea that I'm going to die before you.
Yeah, I think it would be
even
ironic. I think it would be funny that you're the younger one, does yoga, swimming, keeps in shape, and I inhale Jaffa cakes like something that inhales really fast and large.
Room, covered in Lego. Yeah. No, I remember when I used to basically take over room 3 in your studio most days. And you said to me, when you inevitably die young, I'll name that room after you.
Yeah.
So, and it didn't even seem like you were joking. It was very matter of fact. Because, for a few years, I sort of, squatted in that room, let's be honest. Yeah. I was there every day. Anyway, what do you want to hear first? Do you want to hear the long drives, or do you want to hear a gig with Mackenzie?
Let's start with the gig with Mackenzie.
Yeah, so Mackenzie is a female singer, pop artist. Usually the drummer for her is Connor Griffiths, who's been on the pod before. And,
shout out Connor.
And but
he's taller than you think.
He's far taller than you think. And younger, born in 2001, which is,
crazy,
shock.
Isn't it?
Anyone born beyond 2000, I'm like, what are you doing?
It's 1993 for me.
Is it?
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Well,
that came out.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, he was doing another gig, so he got me to play for her, and it was cool. It was at Peckham Audio, and we were supporting someone called Tally Spear. It was like a new night they were doing, some sort of alternative night. But notable things about the gig and the lead up. So I was doing all the tracks, running all the tracks, but from an SPD this time.
Oh, he's gone backwards,
rather than Ableton. Mainly because that's how I did it last time, and I didn't have time to get it in Ableton. I have now, and it's far simpler, weirdly. But anyway, the day before the gig, tried to turn on my SPD, didn't turn on. And I was like, fuck. So instantly I'm going, well, we have to cancel the gig now because there's no way to do the track. And this is the night before. And for about 10 minutes, I had 2 power supplies. I was trying different ways, going, it's not working. And eventually I just messaged Connor. I was like, mate, might have a problem. SPD doesn't work. And then pressed it again.
He replied, who dis?
Yeah, who dis? Fine, I'll get someone else, And pressed it. As soon as I texted him, I pressed it and it turned on. I was like, I had to text him again. It's fine. Please ignore that.
Joking, lol.
So going into the gig, I was a bit worried it wouldn't turn on. Thankfully it did. So we're all good. And yeah, it's just a fun gig. It's just a fun, nice gig. I think compared to Ren, the songs are far simpler in terms of there's no tempo changes mid-song, which happens in a lot of Ren songs. Also, it just seems simpler. Dunk, who's a guitarist for Ren, he was also on the gig. And we were like, it's just sort of like fun. It's just a fun pop gig. And yeah, Mackenzie's great. One of those people you just sort of, I've met her like twice, but it's like known her for ages. It's very good vibe in the band. But here's something good. After the gig.
Yeah.
That was a Freudian slip. There was another drummer who was playing for Tally Spear, and I started chatting to him. And I think he'd be a good guest for the pod at some point.
Sweet.
But this is what I do now, find the drummers at the gig. Ignore the shit ones, obviously. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But
ignore them.
Yeah. But no, it was great. It was just a nice gig. Do you know what I mean? Like it was another chance to run playback, fun night. Yeah, it's cool. It's good. Nothing major to report on that one.
Okay, yeah.
Let me tell you about.
Why not? Okay, just a quick one.
Got any questions?
What was the kit situation? Was it?
Oh yeah.
Take your breakables.
This. Yes. So it was a classic. We've got an in-house kit, so you always go like, what have they got though? What have they got? And I turned up and I was watching the first band soundcheck, and they didn't have any rack toms, no high toms, no middle toms. It was just a snare and a floor tom, and I was going, And then when I got to
text
soundcheck,
Connor, there's no rack tom. Leave me alone. I'm doing a better, more important gig.
And yeah, it was no rack tom. And the guy who was sound checking before me went, if you want to use a rack tom,
you're going to be gutted.
You have to have your own mount or stand. And I was like, I just won't use one then. It's fine. I'm not doing loads of fills anyway.
Can you?
Can I? Good question.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's not a matter of the gig. It's a matter of I can't. So yeah, 2 crash, 1 ride, hi-hat, snare, low tom, kick. Nice kick. I used my...
What brand was it? What brand?
No idea. I mean, it's a kit in a London dungeon, essentially. So who knows what brand it is. It's nice though. Big boy. But I used my Pearl Sense Tone, and I'll tell you for why. I'd used my Mapex Black Panther on the gig on the weekend, and it was developing a weird ring to it, and I was like, I need to get that sorted, but I'll do it another time. So I'll just use my other snare. So that was cool. It's nice to have choice. Yeah, that was about it. Got a Mackey's, went home, treated myself. Get a Mackey's.
What'd you get?
The McPlant thing.
Of course you did. Yeah.
Of course I did. Do you want to hear about my long drives?
Well, yeah. I mean, you keep banging on about these long drives. All I've got is long drive. Oh, I'm doing driving long.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting.
There's those
left,
2
right,
words.
and centre.
Drive and long. That's all I've told you. Well, actually, to break it up,
The George Long Drive Pickering Memorial Room.
Have you got anything for the pod?
In brackets, Ableton. In brackets, I'm learning Ableton.
Yeah. In brackets, I I can't do playback yet, so just wait a bit because I'll
Can I get the stems?
Yeah, can I get the stems, please?
At least 3 weeks before the gig.
Yeah, close brackets.
Close brackets.
Well, why don't you tell me?
And a band comes in. What room are we in? I go, get ready.
The George Pickering Memorial Room for the just a sign above the door. It goes on forever. Why don't I tell you about the drives in a bit? Because otherwise it'll be another episode where I talk for 25 minutes and then you have to smash your stuff in 5. So
sure.
What you got?
What have I got? I'll give you a choice.
Yeah, go on.
I've got. Let's do something not fun, but in one of my hands,
oh fuck,
I have a piece of scrunched up tissue.
Yeah.
Which hand?
I'm gonna go left.
Empty. You're gonna get the
was
car
it right?
story first.
You sort of just put your hand.
Yeah,
up.
it was, am I right?
Well, now you put your. Go on,
right. So, our agency, who manage our wedding bands, who do the bookings for them, constantly over the last few years been like, you need an Instagram. It really helps get bookings. And I'm old and just think, I can't be fucking bothered. Can't be bothered, George.
Yeah.
Anyway, freshman year, I want that band to be busier. I want it to be successful. So I buckled and I went, do you know what? I'll set one up.
Yeah.
Now, I've been posting a few bits and bobs on there, little clips from gigs, photos, whatever. Just fill it up with content.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. All the clients want to know you're real when you actually do stuff. Yeah. Look, why don't you just spend a load of money on a punt? Yeah.
Anyway,
a punt.
Oh, a punt.
Yeah. Anyway, I got a message to our band Instagram account.
Yeah.
Inquiring, basically saying, we're big fans of this sort of music.
Yeah.
We want you to play at our wedding next year.
Cool.
And you're like, cool. Okay, the Instagram works. That's fine. Whatever. I'll accept that.
Yeah.
I'll accept it. Yeah. So I sent them, said, great. Best thing to do is speak to our agency, blah, 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 blah. Right. But when I got the message through, there's, I looked at who sent it, and in their username is the word drums. Yeah. Right.
It wasn't me, was it? On a night out, I forgot.
You couldn't afford us. So I clicked on their profile, and it's quite obvious they're a drummer. And I'm thinking, hello, where this is going.
Yeah.
So then I got a follow-up message. I did have one question before we went through the booking agency. I am a drummer myself, and there is one song that holds a lot of meaning to me and my partner, and would love to play the song on drums. Would that be an issue? And you're like, and you know my stance on this, George.
Yeah.
I know my stance on this. But anyway, I was like, you ain't playing my kit, mate.
Yeah.
That's not what I wrote, but...
No.
But no.
But that's what you say to me on a pod.
Yeah. So I thought about it, and I was like, I really want the gig, because I haven't got many in May. So I don't want to lose the gig for me and the boys just because of my principles. Yeah. However, no, you're not playing my kit. Yeah. So I came up with a really good reply. I'm good at writing emails, mate. You know what I mean? If the government come after me, I can write a great email. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that has happened. Anyway, so I wrote a reply, a well-constructed reply. I'll give you the gist. I said, I get asked that question a lot, and to be honest, it's never something I'm comfortable doing. There's several reasons, brackets, insurance, tech set up with in-ears and ampless guitars, but the main one is that my drum kit is very valuable, and I don't want to take the risk of anything getting damaged, especially in wedding environments when it's late at night and potentially alcohol has been consumed. Didn't want to assume they drunk, but it's very late on in the set. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's going to have had a few shandies, let's be honest. I make my living with that kit in the studio and at gigs. We've also seen nerves get the better of people. It can sometimes stop them from enjoying their evening. We recommend enjoying the music from the dance floor with your partner, friends, and family. Blah blah blah. Then this is the bit that kind of annoys me more than asking to use my drum kit. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it replied, "Hi Ben, as a fellow drummer myself, I fully understand. I wouldn't be happy with someone on my kit after alcohol has been consumed as well."
Cool. Done.
Don't ask then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so don't ask.
Yeah.
Funny, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't ask. Because you obviously don't understand.
No.
So.
And the thing I always say is it's already your day. Everyone has travelled miles and booked a hotel and taken days off work for you. It's already your day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's almost like they never came to your gigs growing up. So this is your last chance to be like, please watch me play drums. But no.
Well, can I drive your Ferrari? Afraid Knox is quite expensive. I totally get it. I wouldn't let anyone drive my Porsche. Cool. Well then, surely you know.
Yeah.
But obviously it makes me also think, obviously not a good drummer or a professional.
Well, that's another
as we
thing
know,
we always
professionals
say.
wouldn't ask.
No.
So even that is like, well, you're not going to be good, so your technique's going to be shit, and I don't want you popping a shit snare hit down on my PDC aviator. So
dent in that head. They've booked
the gig. So cheers.
Oh, cool. I had someone come up to me after I played the first set on Saturday, and he went, "Mate, I got to ask, can I have a go on your kit? Because it looks really fun." I went, I'd love to say yes, but it's a no. And he went, it's okay. I thought I'd ask. And I was like, no, it's all cool, man. Like, you know. And I can't remember what I said, but I was like, I was like, yeah, it is fun. I can't remember what I said. And he sort of went, well, can I have a go then? I went, no, it's still no. I was just trying to be nice. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, no worries. It does look fun. Yeah, it is fun. Can I have a... No,
it's really fun, and I'm getting paid.
Yeah. You love this. I'm sure you love this. Yeah. I'd really want... Because it's so much fun.
Listen, you're out there looking at me going, what a great guy. What a great life. He's out there. He's hitting these drums.
Yeah.
Seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, looks easy. Looks fun.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I was him.
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah.
But fuck off.
Let me tell you about these gigs I did, the long drives. So, Saturday.
Sure. Well, first of all.
Yeah, go on.
Because you told me about your long distance gigs.
Yeah.
You know, we are obviously coming to the very tail end, if not the end, of wedding season. To have two this late in October
is nice,
sweet.
yeah. And one was on a Monday.
Sweet.
One was on a Monday as well. So that's
you can't argue with an off-season Monday wedding.
No, God no.
You don't give a fuck what it is, where it is.
Yeah.
It could be no one dancing.
Yeah.
You're taking that cashola.
You are taking that cashola.
And you're taking it straight to the bank.
You're taking that Robert De Niro straight to the bank.
Sweet old Benjamins. Yeah?
Good. Right, so before we go into it, Leeds was a gig on Saturday. I started that sentence the wrong way. I was going to say Saturday was a gig in Leeds, but I went with the town rather than the day. But let's go with that. Leeds was a gig on Saturday, and Somerset was a gig on Monday. So already...
It's like they were the titles of the gigs. Do you want to come to our wedding? What's it called? What do you mean, what's it called? Well, what's your wedding called? Leeds? Well, that's where it is.
Yeah.
Leeds?
Yeah. So already I know this is a lot of miles. So Saturday we had a hotel booked, obviously, because it's, quite far away.
Safety first.
Me and Dean drove up, and then the rest of the band separately. Went up. I can't remember what time we left.
Did you engineer that because you just didn't want to go with them?
No, it's because we both live in Brighton, and they live in Southampton.
There we go.
Huh?
The Brighton Bum Boys.
Brighton
what were you called?
Bum Boys. Can't say that anymore. Although
no, not nothing to do with that. It could be,
Go on.
You're homeless.
That's worse. You can't call them bums.
Is it?
Yeah, you have to call them homeless people. Can't say tramps or bums.
Okay.
It's okay. I know you'll probably cut that out or leave it in.
I'll leave it in. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do the edit, so we'll see. We went up to Leeds. I can't remember what time we left, but it was an okay drive. Terrible service station we went to. Didn't even have toilets. So everyone was pissing outside by a bin, including a woman who was well into her 60s. I saw her go into the service station, say to the person on checkout...
I think my mum went to Leeds on Saturday.
It did look like your mum. And she
sorry, Aunt.
She was like, is there no toilets? And they were like, no, sorry. And then I watched her go outside, go behind a bin, and then she looked like a nice, respectable woman. It wasn't like, not being rude, but it wasn't like someone you'd think...
She didn't look like a bum.
It wasn't someone that you think, okay, they look like the pissing behind bin type. But so, bless her, I just felt bad for her. I was like, oh my God, that could have been one of our mums, having to squat behind a bin. So anyway, I made it to the gig in Leeds, 5 p.m, and we sort of waited around. Here's the interesting part. We had a saxophone player add-on to the band. Which band was this? What, sorry?
What band was this?
Wildwood Sky.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
wow.
Exactly. Why?
But is that even something you offer?
No. And why did they book us?
Hell.
You know what I mean? Surely there's other bands up north.
That famous combination of country and saxophone.
Exactly. So he turned up really late. We'd got all the gear loaded in.
Of course he did.
We were ready to sell. He turned up about 2 hours late. And
those additional musicians who get booked for things, at no point in their thought process is, I'll get there on time so I can help everyone else load in all the gear.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a piece of piss. This is a joke of a gig.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I even doing?
Yeah.
I'll just whittle around for a bit.
Yeah.
And people go, oh, the saxophone's cool.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, it is cool. Can I play it? No. And then they fuck off. I did a gig once with a singer. It was depping. It wasn't one of my bands. I was also a dep. And it was like, we had to bring the stuff. It was in a city centre, I think Bristol. We had to bring the stuff in. It had to go up an elevator and then all round the outside of the event and then through a back door. Like, it was a big old... And it's like the end of the night. And we're all like, let's get a shift on, get out of here. And he just wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
He just stood there on his phone. He's like, excuse me?
But yeah. Well,
do you think you could pick up a PA speaker, please?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about this guy. So he turned up and he's late. By the way, he was so late that we got to the point where we were like, does he know that he's coming? Because he hadn't replied to any of the emails.
Classic.
And we were sort of thinking, well, we don't need him. We've never done a gig with sax. What's he even going to do?
No one needs this.
No one needs this. But he eventually arrived, and the first thing he said was, hey guys, it would be great if I could get away early tonight. Like, can I leave as soon as we finish? That was pretty much the first thing he said. By the way, he lives up north, so he only.
I have a friend who plays saxophone who lives up north.
What's his name? We can cut it.
Jamie.
No, it's not him.
Good.
He said.
I vouch for Jamie. He would never be late.
But he's
a very organised man.
Well done.
Sure, he's chilled out, but he's in charge.
Do you know what? What's great about you is you never throw me off a flow of a story. So he turned up late and he said, can I leave as soon as we finish? And we were like, yeah, I guess so. He was like, just because I've got a long drive after the gig. And we were like, we've all come from Leeds, But anyway,
Portsmouth.
We were like,
Brighton.
Whatever. We've all come from Brighton. See, that's what I mean. You throw me off. And then I'm trying to
it's
catch
fun, isn't
up.
It? It's good. Yeah.
And then... So anyway, we get to the sound check, and he was fine. At one point, he said, maybe you should play with hot rods. And I was like, maybe you should fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's too loud, I can play softer. There's, not every drummer can do... Right, here's something I was talking to Dean on the way back from the gig with. In drums, you'll know it.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
No. There's... People seem to take pride in being a hard hitter. Everyone says, I'm quite a hard hitter when it comes to drums. I think it's cool, but I also think, well, anyone can be a hard hitter. Do you know what I mean? It's not hard to hit hard. Being a soft hitter, there's your skill. Do you know what I mean? So we're doing a sound check, and I was just playing normally, And he went, oh, you might have to use hot rods. And I went, I can just play quieter. Do you know what I mean? I didn't say it because I didn't want to be a cunt, but I was like, this isn't like my only... Some drummers have this one dynamic and that is it. And then they can't, oh, what? I have to play quieter. I can't do that. I can't play quieter. You know, I've played with drummers that have been like that. And it's like, no, you can. You can play quieter. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to, but if it's that or hot rods, play quieter. So anyway, he was fine in sound check, but Ben Y was getting not stressed.
Why did he? Why?
Because basically the speakers.
Was there a sound limiter?
No, the speakers were distorting when there was like nothing going through it. Like we turn up a bit.
Were they your speakers?
No, we had to use their in-house speakers. Okay. Yeah, and Ben Y was like.
And let's be honest, they're always shit.
Yeah, they are. Ben Y was remaining very cool and relaxed throughout this.
He's a cool guy.
He's a very cool guy. Even though I could see this was a stressful situation.
There was a Netflix documentary about one of the band who committed an atrocity.
Wait, what?
I think it would be about him.
You reckon? Ben Y listens to this, and I've been saying nice things, and now you think he's a murderer.
I don't think. I was just saying, if I was to point fingers...
What, because he's so calm and cool?
Yeah. There's real anger in there somewhere.
Ben Y listens to this, and he is probably gonna, dunno. He works at your studio. He works for me.
What can he do?
Yeah. Well, you could
do you want the job or not?
Burn the studio down.
That would do me a big solid.
Yeah, that is your sort of dream, isn't it? Just take that insurance money.
What's your exit plan? Burn it to the ground.
Yeah, Ben Y burns it to the ground. You just keep telling Ben
That's why I've got him in. I just prod him enough. One day I'll joyfully turn up to the burning embers of my 30s dreams.
Yeah. So anyway,
and rub my hands together and go, what's next?
Vegas. So we did the gig, and he just he added a few solos, but not really. He was mainly playing root notes. And then get this. One of our last songs, Dreaming of You, he was texting. Got his phone out.
He was texting.
Started mid-song texting, and I was like,
Whilst on the
stage, he was texting. And then as soon as we finished, he was like,
well, he had to get back, he got a long drive.
This is it. As soon as we finished, he left. Didn't help pack it. It just left, And I'm quite easygoing. However, Dean is very quick to pick up on anyone's whatever. So he was just saying all the
skin tone.
He was saying all these things about this saxophone player.
Sorry.
Accent. You just say words. I never do this to you when you're telling a story. But I'm going to start now. I'm just going to say words next time you say stuff. Dean was just saying all these things about the sax player, and I just texted Ben Otterson just what Dean was saying, and then he was like, right, I'm never ever using him again, and then he put a thing on the group chat being like, guys, I'm so sorry, it was so unprofessional and shit, and we were like, I was thinking, well, it wasn't that bad, but actually in hindsight it was, because he got 300 quid and £20 fuel. He didn't do anything. And do you know what, this is a rant about it. There aren't many sax players, so if you're a sax player, you'll get all the gigs, And he sort of turned up, and the first thing he said was, I've got, can I leave early? And then the second thing he said was he just went through all the gigs he'd had over the weekend. He was like, oh, I had a gig last night, I had a gig today, I've got this, and then tomorrow I got a gig, and then I got another gig. And he was saying, he was doing that thing, that trait I really hate, where musicians will be like, God, I'm so busy at the moment, where what they're actually saying is, God, I'm so in demand as a musician, And yeah, just sort of, I don't know, I got on with him. I was the only person that actually bothered to talk to him. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was just an odd vibe. Anyway, after the gig, Dean turns to me and goes, George, I think we could drive back tonight. I was like, tonight? From Leeds? Whoa. Are you sure? He was like, it's 4 hours. He was like, if we leave at 11:30, we can be back by 4. And I was like, okay. And his thinking, which sort of made sense, he was like, well, we have to drive an hour for the hotel anyway to get to it, because the hotel was in Sheffield. And he was like, if I'd have driven an hour and then we have to take the stuff out of the car and put it in the room because we won't want to leave it in the car, and then probably won't get to sleep immediately. He was like, I'd just be sat in the hotel thinking, why don't we just keep driving? So I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. But then...
Because when you're sat on a bed watching late night TV, you're less likely to die.
Yeah, well, this is it. So
that's the caveat, Dino. Come on.
So anyway...
You're not operating a metal tin on wheels at 70 plus, 70 tops mph.
Yeah. Anyway, long story short, we did the drive.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so we had the hotel booked, and we were well aware if we get to Sheffield and feel like, okay, we need to stop, we will stop. But we said to the band, you guys do the DJ set, do the extra half an hour, you get the money, we're going to leave now. And we went. And yeah, we drove for an hour, went past Sheffield, and then Dean was like, right, time for a break. I was like, how are you feeling? He's like, I'm buzzed, I'm good. I was like, well, let's wait a bit, because we're going to do one break and make it good. So we drove for 2 hours, stopped at the services, got a coffee, got something to eat, and we were like, right, this is crunch time, 2 a.m. till 4, let's do it, you know? And we did it. But it was a lot of like, keep each other awake, you know? Right, Snog, Marry, Avoid, The Queen, The Rock, you know, just like, right, just
Who's
make up games.
Who's the third one? Who's the third one?
I don't know.
Quick.
Neil Elliott, you know. And, no, I can't remember. Well, I can remember, and they were far more disgusting.
Yeah,
But just things to just keep us awake. You're like, right, what's your favourite song? Let's play that. And then, yeah, we got back at 4 a.m. But the funniest part was, Elfie had gone on one of her nights out that happens a couple of times a year where she goes out hard. And I texted her. I got home at like 4:30.
Just to let off steam from living with you, probably.
And I got in at like 4:30.
I just need a night.
Just give me a night.
I know you've moved your drums out into your little dungeon.
Yeah.
I know that's. I just.
But yeah.
Need something.
You're part-time now, and I see you way too much. You know, it was great when you were never in the flat. So yeah, I texted her and I was like, are you still out? She's like, yeah, we're still out, you know, heading home in a bit. And she got home at 6. So it was like, oh, I was actually home before her, which is weird. And then chilled day Sunday, sorry. And then Monday, I had to drive to Somerset.
Day of rest, isn't it?
Day of rest, yeah, exactly. And then Monday, drove to Somerset for a gig. And it was like, fuck, here we go again. Picked up Ben Corner on the way, who is a great car accomplishment. Let's go with accomplishment. We didn't shut up the whole time. Whole 3 hours there, whole 3 hours back. Just constant chat, you know, about everything. And the gig was really good, actually. It was the best sounding room I've ever played, because it was sort of like a big, I don't know, you know, they're all big manners, aren't they? But yeah, it just sounded great. And then there was a DJ, a separate DJ. So as soon as we finished,
nice,
we just packed down and went.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that was that really. And then the next morning, I had to take my car to the garage, and I got in at 3:30, and I had to wake up at 7. And I woke up late at 8. I was like, fuck, the garage are going to be pissed off. But no, they were fine. Me getting in at 20 past 8, they don't care, as long as they got my car, you know. And now my driver's window goes up and down. So,
that's good.
All in all, a good weekend.
Well, speaking of cars.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, good.
So, this worked out well. Worked out good very segue. Well. It's a good job you didn't pick the right hand. I've got a new car.
Oh, yeah, you do, yeah.
I've got a new car. So, with my parents moving from the sleepy village life to the big city lights of Gunwharf, they're just going down to one car. So they're keeping my mum's little car. Dad was like, do you want my car? Because my Sally Civic's, 15 years old now. But here's the thing, George. Sally's fine. So it's not a decision I'm making because I need a new car. But I appreciate how fortunate I am to be in this position where A, I have a car, and then B, my dad's going, would you like my car? Gratis, you know. But it's
gratis?
Yeah, free.
Oh, cool.
It means free. Right. And thinking about it, it's like, well, knowing my luck, I'd say no, thank you, Dad. I love my Civic, and then my Civic would break.
Yeah.
And then I'd be in a position where I need to buy a new car. Yada yada yada. With a a Peugeot that's 5 years newer, and with the perfect service history that a ex-Commodore of the Royal Navy would provide their car.
Get that in.
It was a no-brainer, really, to say, yes, I'll take the car.
Yeah.
So I've got this new car, new to me, and it's a very different drive to Sally, but it's good. But what I've done is I'm just keeping Sally off-road for a bit.
Yeah.
See what happens over the next few months. Anyway, this brings me to what I call the Grand Theft Auto car phenomenon.
Go on.
You sound like you're not interested,
No, I
George.
am interested. I'm just intrigued. Just intrigued.
So this is a theory. This is something I have in my brain.
Right.
Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, right. So Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, that was the one.
That came out on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like the first sort of 3D one.
That's my childhood, yeah.
Liberty City.
Yeah, yes.
Liberty City, burn it to the ground. Lesson, Jake. Right, so because of the power of the PlayStation 2, I think I'm right in thinking. So there were certain missions where you needed to go and steal a particular type of car. But I think to help the processing power of the PS2 at the time with such a sort of big 3D rendered game, that if you had, let's say there were 20 different available cars you could get in the game.
Yeah.
If you were in car, if you were currently driving car 1, it would only, the other cars on the road that were auto-generated would only be cars 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't have to have all 20 rendered cars driving on the road.
Got you. Yeah.
If you were in car 6, it would do 6 to 10.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it'd be like,
yeah.
So sometimes you're like, you couldn't find a car for love nor money, but probably because you were like in the wrong set of cars.
Right, got you. Yeah.
Right. So it'd be that thing of like, I'm looking for this car, but all I can see is my car that I've got already. Now, I've noticed this with every car I've had in my life, and I noticed it when I got Sally, the Civic, and I'm noticing it now, and I've seen it right. When I got the Civic, all I could see, I just noticed so many more Civics on the road. Right? Now I've got this Peugeot. I've seen so many Peugeot of this particular model. I'm like, oh, that's the car. Oh, there. Yeah. And it for me, it's like they're being generated because now I've got one. Yeah. They're being generated in my the world I view as, quite frankly, a computer game. Yeah. Yeah. That's, and I don't know if anyone knows, and I've seen it before.
God, I think most people notice it. Yeah.
And obviously, there's not, when you buy a car, there's then not just loads more, but obviously, depending on when you get your car, there'll be, more of that model made in the same year, and maybe they become second-hand cars approximately at the same time. But it's obviously you're just more aware of that car. Yeah. And so you just see it more. They're there anyway, so you're only really noticing your own car. But I call it the Grand Theft Auto car phenomenon.
I like that. Because I don't think anyone's given a name to it.
And just listeners out there, see what, if you notice what car you've got, you just notice. It happens a lot when you change car. Yeah. When you get a new one, because it's very in the forefront of your brain.
I've had it. I always had Fiestas, and then I got a Golf. Now I see Golfs everywhere.
Absolutely. There we go.
It's the way it is. Now I don't notice Fiestas. Or I do notice actually if I see a purple Fiesta.
I feel like I haven't seen a Civic for a week.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
And I've had this new, but I've seen about 5 Peugeot 3008s.
Yeah.
So,
but
anyway.
You will have seen a Civic, it's just...
That's the thing, I will have seen a Civic. I'm just not looking out for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, email us. What car do you drive? Do you see lots of them? Have you ever played Grand Theft Auto? Yeah. Have you ever been to Leeds? Yeah. Are you a lazy cunt of a sax player? Get in touch, drummandrummerpod@gmail.com. Hit Georgie up on the Insta. I'll be at @BaldDrummers on the old Twitter/X. That's it, innit?
That was good. That was the best one yet.
Thanks.
That was really
Keep listening. Yeah. Peace out. I can't end with that.
No, that was great.
No, you happy?
Please keep that.
Peace out. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.